What's going on, guys? Shredder, issue 7. Just to kind of catch us up to where we're at right now, Shredder and Agent Avon, they defeated the Mourner. Uh, Avon then goes on to accidentally, I'm still not 100% certain how much of an accident this is, she basically blows up Darkwater. She meant, what she at least claims is that she only meant to use this bomb as a means to just cause a distraction. She overheard that it wasn't supposed to be that big. Well, she ends up blowing up pretty much the entire building. And then she goes out and seeks out Shredder and is like, teach me, lead me, all that fun stuff. And so that's basically where we continue on here. So, issue 7, Infected, is our title here. And this is written by Dan Waters, and our artist is Sid Kotian. And so we start off with Agent Avon returning to the EPF, or the Earth Protection Force, and she is talking with Director Bronze and is relaying all of the events that we've seen, but in a way that more points towards Shredder having done everything. For instance, she says that Shredder blew up the building, or at least Bronze kind of finishes that sentence, saying as much. And so I got real issues going on right off the bat with this one. So for starters, he goes on to say, normally we would have you go through a rigorous psych evaluation, physical, before we have you in the field. However, you have a lot of knowledge on Shredder, so we're just going to bypass all of that. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. That's seriously really fucking stupid. She spent a lot of time with a very dangerous individual who's led a lot of people. Why in the hell would you have her just go, we don't need to take a look at you? And it's because reasons. Really. It's just, and this has always been the issue I have with Avon, is she just always manages to skirt by everything. No real consequences ever fall for her. Like, she got captured in the last issue, but that's what she wanted. Like, nothing about her is interesting, because it's all just like something she gets to just skate by, and there are no consequences for her actions. And so he then continues on after saying, oh yeah, we don't need to give you an evaluation and all this shit. He's like, okay, so is the Shredder dangerous? Yes, stupid, yes. So yeah, more or less he wants to know if the EPF needs to be looking in on him. And she, in a lot of words, just basically says, yes, he's dangerous, and in fact probably more dangerous than he's ever been. And he's like, okay, so what do you think his next move is? And she goes on to say, well, Karai is in control of the Foot. Karai is like one individual that Shredder actually cares for. So he probably is going to be looking to recruit elsewhere and not mess with his granddaughter. And so we cut over to, I believe, Tokyo, Japan. And we are introduced to Hoshimi and Akito. And they are part of the Dog Star clan. And this is the clan that has taken over since the Foot has left. And basically what they're trying to do is shake down this restaurant owner for protection money. And before they get to dip his head in a vat of fryer grease, Shredder comes in. And, okay, I'm going to nitpick this. I don't like the Agent 47 Shredder. Stop putting him in a suit. Just give me this. Give me this. I want that. Right there. In the Shredder clothes. Stop giving me the Agent 47. I just think this really isn't appealing to me. It's a nitpick because no matter what, this is all going to play out the same way. But I just, from the looks, no, I don't want this. And so Shredder comes in and he's like, oh, so you guys are the ones that found yourself to be the superior version of the Foot Clan, but here you are shaking down, store owners and restaurant owners for the Yakuza. Man, how the mighty have fallen. And this pisses off the two individuals, in particular Akito, who immediately goes over and attacks Shredder. Shredder blocks, and before Akito can come back with another strike, Shredder dips his claw into the hot grease and flings it over at Akito, knocking him out of the fight for now. And Hoshimi is just like, nope, let's get on out of here. And Shredder's like, no, you're going to take me to your Jonin, Yoshi Chen. And she basically just says, I know who you are, Oroku Saki, and unleashes an attack, kicks him in the stomach and knocks the wind out of him, temporarily disabling him, and grabs Akito and is like, let's make a run for it. And I like how all of this plays out. Now, normally what we see in a lot of times with modern day tropes is the woman's going to get the best of an individual and just be flat out better. We saw that in issue 1 with the Mourner, and I had big issues with that. Here, everything checks out, right? She has claws on her hands as well, and so he's just blocking. She gets a good shot in, okay? It knocks the wind out of him, and what does she do? She runs. She doesn't try to kick his ass any further. It is just, we got to get out of here. And I very much like that. That's so much more believable than like this 90-pound soaking wet girl beating up somebody twice their size. I can't buy that. So I like this. This is very good. Now Akito tries to run. Shredder slashes the back of his foot, his Achilles tendon. And it's like, no, you ain't going nowhere. And Akito starts spazzing out quite a bit. He's like, and we see him starting to transform into this grotesque monstrosity. And it looks like biomechanical engineering plays a factor in all of this, as Shredder says it right there, as he's thrown out of that room. And he sees this just monster before him at this point. And so Shredder, he goes in, has himself a little fight. He's basically on the defensive. He's trying to get in a good strike. He's making his way closer, but there's so many little wires and tentacles coming at him. He's gotta fend them off while he's doing it. And he realizes that nobody's home in there anymore. Akito, he's gone. The controls are all mostly robotic at this point. And he's thinking, okay, the most logical place to strike would be the brain, right? Shut down the brain, shut down everything else. So he's making a lunge for the head here. And it's getting closer. And then we get that little, he's reached his goal. And all the wires and everything drop down, freeing Shredder from his confinement here. And then he goes ahead and takes a little piece, just I'm assuming for further analysis, trying to figure out what all is going on here. And this is the end of Shredder, and this is good. I like all of this. This all works for me, minus the suit. That's my only issue with this whole deal with Shredder here. From start to finish, everything is very nice. I like all of this, and I wish that this was the only thing in here. Ditch Avon entirely. Give me more of this. So we then continue on with Hoshimi, and she is trying to explain to, hold on, let me grab his name, I just dropped it, Kenji. Apparently this is who is leading the Dogstar clan, and she's trying to explain why they failed. Now Kenji is not exactly thrilled with her. She throws some soda at her and was like, why shouldn't I activate the virus in your head like I did your compatriot there? And she explains that they were ambushed by Shredder, and he's just like, who? And she goes on to explain that he is the ghost of who returned from the dead to lead the Foot Clan. And he's like, okay, so what does this ghost want? He's really dismissive about all of this. And said she wants an audience with Yoshi Chan. And so this makes him laugh. And he's like, oh, you hear that? This legend wants to meet with you. And you see this individual. My camera's maybe not going to do that good of a job. But it looks like somebody who's kind of fused to a wall from the looks of things. Just kind of gurgles. Maybe is a laugh. It's just kind of like a noise. And so then Kenji over here, he just for whatever reason, just really into this burger, says, okay, well, get rid of Shredder. And then that's the end of all of this. And then we have to go back to Agent Avon. And so Bronze is like, oh my goodness, you're so correct, Agent Avon. You're the bestest in the world. Yeah, it looks like Cyborg was fighting a clawed man, so yeah, you're right on. And by the way, there's a lot of people around here who think that we shouldn't trust you, that you're definitely going to be working for Shredder. But I seem to think you're trying to get this guy, so I'm going to give you a task force, and I want you to put a stop to him, okay? Okay. And I'm just like, you're an idiot. You were so fucking stupid. It drives me nuts. I'm like, she was somebody who was around an enemy who's had so many people with him, right? And you're not going to give her a psych evaluation. Make sure she hasn't flipped. Make sure she's on the up and up. And then you're going to have her lead a company to somebody who is actively trying to recruit. These are all going to be members against you now. You're a fucking idiot. And I can't wrap my head around why they would do something so monumentally stupid. And that's just every time that Avon's around. It's just always something like that, and it drives me nuts. This is why I don't like this character at all. Get rid of her. If you don't know what to do with her outside of just giving her all of this, just everything gift wrapped into her, just get her out of here. Seriously, this series would be so much better off without her. Because anytime she was around Shredder, he wasn't acting right. Like I said, she kept disobeying whatever Shredder said, and I'm just like, why isn't her head on a spike at this point? And so my frustrations continue with Avon. But yeah, we see that finally Shredder's once again gearing up in the stuff that we like to see him in. And for the most part, I like the overall setup that he has in this series. I think I've made mention of this before, but yeah, I'm a fan of it. I just don't like him in the suit. Stop putting him in the suit. And that's the end of this one. And after all the times that I've read this one, as well as the others, I think that this is the best. The only times I really have gripes is with Avon. The whole Shredder bit, the Dogstar clan, where Hoshimi was talking with Kenji, I have no real problems there. Some nitpicks, sure, but most of it, yeah, it was pretty good. This would be a stronger book for me if not for Agent Avon. That really just sucks the life out of this. So we need to get rid of her. But that being said, I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. Again, Avon drags it down, but the Shredder stuff is actually pretty good, and I think he's very much in character here. So I'm still not going to recommend this series yet, but we're at least trending in the right direction, okay? So far, it feels like we're getting a little stronger with each comic. So I'm at least not completely dreading anytime I have to read this. So we're doing something good here. Just, I don't know, find a way to bump her out of there and be done with her. And I think that this will be much better off for it. But that is all I have for today, guys. So until next time, take care and God bless.